Talk about a mobility exercise that we can use for our posture, upper back, shoulders, to create hamstring range of motion, core connection, you name it. All right, it's our tall kneeling around the world series. There's a couple of exercises we're gonna string together to help you learn the movement of this one. So I highly encourage you starting at the beginning and then working your way through each step. I'm gonna use my knee pad and a 10-pound ultimate sandbag core bag. Start with the side view here. Okay, so in my tall kneeling position, I'm gonna tuck my toes, tuck the tail and connect the ribs. I'm gonna grab my ultimate sandbag with the outside handles. Staying nice and tall, I'm gonna curl the bag up just beside my head and then back down. I can perform for reps on one side or the other. I'm gonna turn and face the camera in a second so you guys can see what that looks like. The goal here is to keep my elbow by my side and to keep the sandbag nice and long. We wanna try to avoid it kind of crunching up as it gets to the side, because if that top arm can't get over my head, then I'm gonna contort myself to get out of the way. So the top arm pulls the bag nice and long and the bottom arm supports the load of the bag. As you're moving in and out of that position, try to hold your body totally still. Using an appropriate weight of bag is really important here, because if it gets too heavy, you're definitely gonna compensate trying to get that load up. All right, exercise number 2 is we're gonna be getting that bag to the back of the shoulders and really looking to extend and point the elbows toward the ceiling. Okay, this one is called the ultimate sandbag, tall kneeling overhead T-spine extension. Okay, so we're gonna be working on that extension of the upper back. Really great for posture and shoulder range of motion. The exercise is gonna start off same as the last one. We're gonna come up to the side. We're gonna swivel the bag around the back of the shoulders and then point both elbows toward the ceiling. We're just gonna pause here and let the weight of the bag kind of pull my arms back. As my arms come back, my ribs are gonna wanna open up. So my job is to keep my tail tucked, ribs down, as I push the elbows back. To exit this position, I'm gonna drop that right elbow toward the rib cage and pull my left hand over the top of my head. So kind of like putting on a coat, I'm gonna keep my right elbow by my side until my left hand clears my head. I'm gonna pull both elbows toward the ceiling while keeping my ribs down. I'm gonna exit the same way that I started. This one could also be called a half around the world. Okay, so my starting position, tail tucked, ribs down. Position 1, and then position 2. I'm pausing here to let the sandbag rest on the shoulder blades. Pull the elbows up. At no point should I kind of twist or bend out of position. All right, now we're ready to put everything together into the full around the world from the tall kneeling base. So our ultimate sandbag, tall kneeling around the world. From the side view, each step builds on the last. Always pausing in this position. When I restart my repetition, I want my arms to come all the way down to a straight position, as opposed to kind of bunching up and holding the bag at your chest. Just pause slightly in each exercise progression position and notice what's happening with your core and your upper body. It's really common for when you start doing this to kind of hula hoop your way around. So as the load starts to change, we'll kind of like shift our body around to accommodate. But the whole purpose is to resist that motion. Bag comes cleanly up, elbows up, and down. You can perform at consecutive reps. We often like to go clockwise and then counterclockwise right after. All right, enjoy that sequence.